Hello friends. Now we can see anecdotes. The importance of anecdotes in new historicism. Two reasons he gives. One is anecdotes open the gates to history. Greater history. This is small history. And so it is like gate. You can enter into history. The second reason that he gives is that language does not stop at the border of literature. And what does that mean? Language does not stop at the border of literature. So two reasons he gives for anecdotes. How anecdotes can help you, or the role of anecdotes in new historicism. One is that anecdotes are gates to history. And anecdotes, he calls them small history. Small history. Smallest unit of historiographic fact. Smallest unit of historiographic fact. Or a name given is there is historian. Historian. Like a unit of culture, it's called a mim. Mim. M-E-M-E. Mim. That means a unit of culture. In cultural studies you come across. This is a unit of history. Unit of history. Small, both the smallest you can say. Smallest unit of history. And phoneme. Smallest unit of language. Phoneme. Morpheme. Smallest meaningful unit. So you have got words ending in phoneme, neme, morpheme. Means smallest meaningful unit. Meaningful unit. This is smallest, or smallest functional unit. Functional unit. So you can see this now. History means smallest unit of history. That is the gate to the whole of history. If you consider historiography, history as a huge whole, see that, say an auditorium or a theatre, film theatre, this history is at the entry point, that is small gate. Like you have got a mim, M-E-M-E, mim means a smallest cultural unit is a mim. And here we have phoneme, smallest functional unit of the language. And morpheme, the smallest meaningful unit of the language. As for example, you have got a boy, okay? The other one is ver, etc. These phonemes, we have come across these things. I have given about 20 plus 20, 40 lectures on phonology and morphology. Phonology, the lectures on phonology begins with the phoneme, and morphology begins with the morpheme. So I think you can, if you have time enough, we can go through that. Alright. So, second reason is that literary language does not stop at the border of literature. First reason is gate. Second is language does not stop. Language does not stop at the border of literature. So, literary language is not the monopoly of literature. Literary language also is used in narrating these small units like units what we call anecdotes. What is the meaning of anecdote? Anecdote simply means a short amusing story. That's all. It is, as we have seen, it's not casual. It is not accidental also. It's not a casual story in accidental. But it is literary and it has got it is referential in the sense that there is a connection you will find in history. See, a very simple anecdote, the Romans, they used to eat full stomach and then plenty of plenty of food will be left. At the same time they want to eat it. They are unable to eat it because their stomach is full. So what they used to do is put their hands inside and then vomit. It was said that in Roman villas there were vomiting rooms. After filling their stomach, they go and vomit, come back and sit and eat again. So what does it tell you? And this is an anecdote. It tells you all about the history of Rome. You know, the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. One of the reasons is that consumerism, then luxury, gluttony. Gluttony means eating more than what you want. This in a way is a double head. So an anecdote like this, or an amusing short, amusing story like this, it is not accidental, it is part of history, you can see. So what happens is it opens a gate to the history of Rome and how Rome fell, declined. One of the reasons, not many. So you cannot say this is the only reason, but there are many reasons for this. One of them, of course, is this. Again, you will find, you might have come across, we probably, because King Lear, I think everybody has read, the tempestuous relationship, love, between King Lear and his daughter Cordelia. So that you find it in the tragedy there. But at the same time, in a Baptist magazine, there was a priest, Reverend Francis Wayland. Reverend Francis Wayland. So he was a Baptist, and in a Baptist magazine, it was published, there is an anecdote about him, that he had a 15-month-old son, and the son was so willful, very difficult to manage him. So taming of the shrew, like that, taming, this is the story of the taming of the 15-month, 15-month-old boy who was very self-willed, unusually self-willed. So you find this connection, relationship, the link between King Lear and his daughter Cordelia and Reverend Wayland and his son, a 15-month-old son, how he managed to control him or bring him within his control. So you find this connection. At another we can see, cross-dressing in 12th night. Cross-dressing, that is, female characters are putting on male dress. So this is an anecdote, say, published in 1580. 1580, this is reported by Montaigne, the French father of essay, you remember, no? Even before Bacon borrowed from Montaigne, it is said. Or that essay form actually began in France, and he was the originator of this. So we call Montaigne the father of essay. And then what happens? He reports that 8 French girls, just for the sake of fun maybe, they decided that they would wear male dress and live the rest of their life in the world as wearing this male dress. So it is from this, that is an anecdote. And it was, Shakespeare made use of this in his 12th night. So connections, juxtapositions is Stephen Greenblatt is famously known for juxtapositions. Juxtaposition means connecting things which at first look we may not find any connection at all. See the Reverend Wayland's and King Lear. And now here Montaigne's report of these 8 French girls. And again you find essays of Montaigne. He wrote a very brief essay, sent it to Samuel Dennis, and it is a little known Elizabethan poet. It's about colonialism, isn't it? So he wrote like this. Colonialism, he wrote. So this collection of writings, so to say. And Mondains one was there. And in that, so he was a little known, this poet was a little known person, Samuel Dennis. So he wrote poems on this colonialism because he got this idea from many writings, especially particularly the writings of Monday. So there are many people writing about very in the way short amusing stories about colonialism, and Shakespeare took some of these, and The Tempest is about colonialism. So it is not an original product of an original thinking by Shakespeare, but it's a collection of anecdotes that he managed to come across probably during those days. And then Montaigne is, as we have seen, sent his writings to, or somehow Samuel Dennis, we don't know whether he sent it or Samuel Dennis came to know about it. And Samuel Dennis was a little known poet of those days. He wrote about colonialism. All these probably might have helped Shakespeare to write his 12th Night. Understand? So the power of anecdotes. Anecdotes were used by a genius like Shakespeare, and as we have already seen in our previous lecture, there is no such thing as genius. But whether they agree it or not, the people who advocate this theory or this approach to literature, new historicism, whatever it is, Shakespeare is still considered as a genius. Isn't it? Nobody will deny that. His genius, nobody will deny. Now what we are trying to tell you is this: in new historicism, anecdotes play a very eminent and dominant role. That's what Stephen Greenblatt, Louis Monroe, and so on, they are saying. See, and they prove it also. This narration of singular events, smallest unit of historiographic fact, which is literary and at the same time it is referential in the writings of history, is very important. Because the writings of history, anecdotes have got the role of gate, opening the gate to a huge hall of history. There is a writer who writes about anecdotes, importance of anecdotes, and his name is Joel Feynman. You must have come across, I don't know, Joel Feynman. Joel Feynman, see, and in his essay, The History of Anecdotes, he wrote an essay, The History of Anecdotes. That's it. He defines anecdotes like this. This is the standard definition of anecdote. It is an anecdote is the literary form. It is not as we have already said, anything that accidental or any superstition or anything like that. It is a literary form that uniquely lets history happen. You got it? It is a literary form, say like poetry, drama, short story, they are literary forms. So an anecdote is a literary form that uniquely lets history happen. See that? By virtue of the way it introduces an opening into the teleological. What is teleology? Means end of something. Teleological, teleos means end. And teleological, and therefore we can say timeless narration of beginning, middle and end. Did you get that? So according to Joel Feynman, it is the literary form. What is its function? Its function is it makes history happen. And when we go through this, what happens is it introduces an opening, as I already told you, gate. And the opening, when you open this, when the opening is made, what do you see? Beginning, middle and end of a story. And story there means history. See, newspaper reports, there's a story there. Story, the latest story this time. That doesn't mean that they are writing a story. Or channels you will find. The latest stories. Please stand by for the latest story. Story means news. So in this, here story means history. So an anecdote is a literary form. And what does it do? It lets history happen. And then what else? It is introduces the opening into the beginning, middle and end of a story. So how important is that? Anecdote produces the effect of the real. Just now I opened this lecture with an anecdote about Romans. Yeah, effect of the real. And also of the contingent. Contingent means that is subject to change. Something that is subject to change. It opens the gates to the universe of history. So the function of anecdote is, this is new historicism. New historicism, anecdotes, they have got their decisive role in new historicism. Why? Because anecdotes let history happen. Anecdotes open the gates to the universe of history. Understand? So that's why we say, these new historicists, what do? They are in search of anecdotes. To explain King Lear, you have got an anecdote. To explain Twelfth Night, you have got an anecdote. Then to explain the Tempest, you have got anecdote. So anecdotes will help you to explain or get into the full form or full shape of a complete shape what you are, or that is the beginning, middle and end. Understand? There is a Feynman that speaks about the writing practice of new historicists. Says they are like the writings of new historicists. They are like a Baconian essay. Baconian essay. Bacon. You know Francis Bacon. Baconian essay. What is the peculiarity of the Baconian essay? It opens and then it goes on discussing a topic. Every essay is like that, but in Bacon's essays, as you know, studies serve for delightful ornament and for ability. So that is the way. Means it. In other words, it attracts you. Or the opening sentence itself, it is like an anecdote source. That's why I say it's Baconian essay. Introduces history, and then it amplifies history, and it comes at the end with the moralizing conclusion. So this is what an essay by Bacon does. Introduces the subject, amplifies it, not very much, but still, most of these are aphorisms, we know. Essays are aphorisms, Bacon's essays, but even then, see, studies are for delight, for ornament and ability. And then, next sentence is amplification of that, isn't it? Conference makes us, and so all those things. You can see, you know very well, that's why I don't want to get into that and bore you. Okay, so here what happens is, introduces, amplifies, and then comes to a conclusion. What happens to be incidental, that is it. What happened? We may think that the history, the story of the Romans, for example, it is an incidental thing, unimportant. But then actually what happened? Actually constitute the very basis of history. See, the cross-dressing of French girls is incidental, but it actually constitutes the stuff of the 12th night. Like that. And King Lear, and also we have seen this. But the tempest. And therefore it says, it introduces, it amplifies, and then it concludes. So that what happens to be or what looks like incidental, unimportant, actually it constitutes the very basis of history. Understand? So these are traces, you can say, literary traces. And in literary traces, as we have seen, language is not the monopoly of literature alone, but you can see literary language in these anecdotes also. So these anecdotes are called magical. Magical. They connect events. Seemingly these events are incongruous, but they connect, they link. And famously, Greenblatt is known as significant juxtapositions. Significant juxtaposition, as we have seen already, 3 of Shakespeare plays, you find 3 anecdotes, how they are connected. And also the story of the Romans, see, these anecdotes, how they are connected to the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. So this is one of the writing style, we can say, of the new historicism. That is, they find somehow, they are called, these new historicists, they call anecdotes magical anecdotes. They call magical anecdotes, because that will tell you, see, Resonance and Wonder, another essay written by Greenblatt. In fact, there the main attraction is Cardinal Wolsey's hat. Again an anecdote. Cardinal Wolsey's hat. But he sees that in a case, glass. And then what happens is, in his mind it starts resonating. What is resonating means? Sends out, see, for a simple example is like a pool. I think in one of my lectures I already told you, I gave you this example, that is in a pool of water, calm water, serene and calm water, you drop a stone, then what, it will make ripples. That's resonating. Resonating. So he says these anecdotes, they resonate. Anecdotes create an element of wonder in me, and then it resonates. So that, and the link is established. More of this about anecdotes and resonance and wonder we will see tomorrow. Till then, bye. Have a nice day. Hope that you are following. See the importance of anecdotes in new historicism. That's what we were trying to say, how anecdotes are connected to history and also literature. How important these anecdotes. Anecdotes also use literary language. Just as literature uses, literary writings use literary language. 2 reasons we have already seen. One is this links, and second is the use of language does not stop. Or it is, language is not the monopoly of literature alone. Language, literary language can also be used in narrating or telling anecdotes. And anecdotes have got a direct connection with. There's a direct link with great literature. That's what we have seen already in the examples of Shakespeare's plays. So see you tomorrow. Till then, bye.